Hello and welcome to the Just for Gamers video game podcast. Episode 180. Do you want to bang knuckles?
Not especially, if I'm honest.
In this week's episode, I haven't written anything for this little bit.
Like it?
JfG Ash gets into Forsaken. JfG Alex plays a battle royale game. There's news on EA being fucked.
Yeah!
And finally, Funk gives us a rage review.
Hello and welcome to the JfG podcast. This is episode 180. My name is Alex, and I'm joined as ever by my good friend Ash. 180!
180.
How's it going, buddy? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. Feeling good on a Wednesday, yeah. Sparkling thoughts. Give me the hope to go on. 180. Like that number that's in darts. Bum, bum, bum.
Darts.
Dance. That's how it goes. The dance.
Yeah, it's a song. They all sing it. Then there's a 6 to 8 second pause, and they all just say darts.
It's true. It's a known fact.
Yep, it's a sport, apparently.
So
how you doing, buddy? What have you been up to?
Not a lot, as always. I had a nothing weekend this weekend. Absolutely. I could not be arsed. I was so tired and just whatever. So I just sat around the house in my pants. The hants. That's what you do when you hants.
Hands pants.
You're in the house with your pants. Not really doing a lot. Obviously, fed the kids and things like that. They wanted to play some games, so I played some Pez with my daughter again. She loves that shit, which is nice.
Sweet.
I thought, now's the time, really, for my son to start playing first-person shooters. And I know one game that's a first-person shooter that I like a lot, so I thought, hey, let's get him onto Destiny. And he wanted to do the space magic, so he's now a warlock. I think it's an exo warlock he picked, like the machine-based one.
Wizard.
He is a space wizard, buddy. And obviously, my daughter saw that he was playing it and was like, I want to play that as well, Daddy. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're only 4, but I mean, I could probably start you off young, I guess. So we ended up having, obviously, I was playing with her. We were doing some fucking co-op Destiny in one room. It was ace. It was like a mini LAN party.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, buddy, it was well good. So yeah, we had some co-op Destiny 2 going on this weekend in the house.
Nice, that's really cool.
Getting the family involved, yeah. So gonna get my son trained up, get him raid ready.
Excellent news.
Yeah, so yeah, no, it's cool. I thought it's probably about time. He's fucking playing Fortnite and stuff like that. So I was like, well, he can shoot aliens in the face, then surely. It's fine by me.
How's his analog stick work? How's his thumb work?
Well, I had to teach him about strafing because he was literally just standing there shooting, like moving the right analog stick around. And I'm like, you need to be moving around a bit. So I kind of got his hands, like romantic people or in romance films when they do the golfing and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was like that, but not romantic because he's my son. And that would be
seems fair.
Incest and paedophile in one. And
the twofer.
Yeah, the twofer.
Yeah.
Nearly the trifecta. I don't know what that would be. He's probably going ahead and doing it.
I wouldn't like to think.
I know.
Well.
Yeah. Anyway, took a turn there, but we'll get back on topic about strafing. Yeah, so I was showing him how to strafe.
I was maintaining silence for maximum discomfort.
No, you did well. Thank you very much. Yeah.
No worries.
Added suspense and all, or whatever. So, talking about strafing, he's into Destiny. He likes the fact that the numbers go up. I'm like, you're my boy. I love the numbers too. What it's all about.
It's a thing.
Yeah, we went and saw our new house, the big house, the house that we've bought, the second house we bought this year. seeing as the first one didn't go through. And took the kids around it so they could see the bedrooms, the size of the garden. They loved it. They played a bit of hide and seek, and I got freaked out because I couldn't find my youngest daughter. She was hiding under the stairs. I was like, classic.
That is textbook.
Yeah.
Absolutely textbook. You could have just left her there, pick her up when you move in.
Well,
buddy, in
I
a couple
thought
of months'
about it.
time.
She would have been all right, you know. I also was planning out the brewing location. I was like, has the shed at the bottom of the garden got electricity? It's like, yes. I'm like, sweet. Brewing town is going to happen there. And then we were discussing about where I'm going to put like my PC and like everything for a nice little setup. And we were going to put it downstairs. Like there's a living room, like a dining room, kitchen, and then like a downstairs shower room and stuff like that. And she was like, oh yeah, we'll put it in like the dining room. We'll have the dining room in the kitchen kind of thing. And we'll use that as a playroom for the kids as well. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can live with that. And then it was like, well, she was like, I don't really want the PC down there. I mean, we could put that somewhere else. And I was like, where can we put that? Because obviously there's 5 bedrooms, buddy. And she was like, well, you could put the PC in the 5th bedroom. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'd probably put the PlayStation up there as well, you know. And she was like, well, what about the kids? And I was like, well, they can have the other PlayStation downstairs with the telly on the wall. So we'll sort that out. And yeah, so I've got my own dedicated gaming room now, I believe, from the 5th room. And she was like, yeah, we'll get some soundproofing in there. I'm like, fucking, this is going to be sweet for the podcast.
Yeah, she just wants you upstairs, so if the kids wake up, then you're there.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah. But still.
I know her game. Yeah. But for you, it's a fucking result, isn't it? Because you've got like a dedicated wing of the house, buddy. And you can get like a little mini fridge in there and shit.
Gibbons, I've already been picking out the mini fridges.
Get your urinal on the wall so you haven't got to go down anywhere for that.
That's true. Just piss out the window I could if I wanted to.
Straight out the window.
Just fuck it. Natural, innit?
Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, like you can do a lot with soundproofing, can't you? If you get some like boards and stuff up and
exactly
like that.
So we'll see
box sort of shit.
We'll see how that goes. It should be interesting. It's not for a few months, obviously. We'll be moving, but I'm sure it will come around quicker rather than not. You know how it goes.
Gibbons.
I went to London on a train again yesterday and came back in a day. That's always fun. Took the Switch with me. That was cool. I haven't been sleeping a lot this week because of Destiny 2. I can't stop playing it. And one thing about Destiny 2 that I feel that needs to be mentioned in this section, not in what I've been playing. There's a new game mode called Gambit. There's the guy that runs Gambit is called like the Drifter, I think. He's a bit of a hobo, I think. I don't know. He drifts around place to place. And I'll talk about the game mode later, but I went up and saw him yesterday to get my bounties, like get my Gambit bounties so I can get more XP and all that bullshit by doing whatever he wants me to do. I'm like, yeah, cool, I'll do that. And, you know, like you greet the NPC, he normally says something back like, hey guys, yeah, well, fucking let's play some Gambit. This time, he says, you want to bang Knuckles? Immediately, I was thinking, what, from Sonic?
The echidna?
I was like, do I want to bang Knuckles? I mean, I'm going to say no. I don't want to bang Knuckles. How about you?
You don't swing that way.
Do you want to bang Knuckles?
I don't want to bang Knuckles.
No?
I don't want to bang any of the creations from the Sonic universe.
If I
had to pick one, I'd pick that awful Sonic game on the 360 where Sonic was the only weird character in it and everyone else was people.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then I
good
could
shot.
just
you
bang
can fuck
a woman.
People. Yeah.
That's the loophole that you need.
Nice, I like it. Just like Mario games as well. You could do that with Mario.
Knuckles is a male
Odyssey.
echidna.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Want to bang Knuckles? Do you want to bang that? And then I've heard it, and I was like, "Is that what he said?" So I had to like come in and out of the menu like 15 times until he said it again, and it was, "Do you want to bang Knuckles?" Once again, the answer is
special. No. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So there you go, buddy. That's my week done in a nutshell. How about you? What you been up to, huh?
Like a scrotum. Here it is in a nutshell. Well, this week, buddy. I have done absolutely nothing except at the weekend when I went to the BBC Proms in the Park.
Hello. What's this?
There's a thing in the UK called the Proms. They're a selection of classical concerts. Although lately they've been doing like electro proms and branching out a little bit, but only into sort of softish, easy listening. It's not like rock music and stuff, but mainly classical. And then there's this night on a Saturday in the start of September. It's the last night of the Proms, so they have like concerts all over the country and famously in the Royal Albert Hall in London. But they also do this big Proms in the Park thing in Hyde Park. They've got one in Glasgow as well, but fuck those guys. So yeah, I went to this thing. It was fucking cool. It was so odd. It was like a 5-hour show, and the lineup was just so stupid. There's just no real pattern to any of it, like what you saw. But also, it was being broadcast live on the radio, so it kind of flowed quite nice, and no one really outstayed their welcome. Like they all, they get like 3 or 4 songs and then they fuck off. Like the most anyone played for was like 40 minutes, and it's like, well, that's pretty cool. Just have this array of talent kind of parading itself in front of you. It's kind of
like a mixed CD, but with like the best of collection of each person.
Yeah, it's like the best of Radio 2 edition. So they had like Michael Ball, but they had the cast of Bat Out of Hell, buddy. That's stage show for some reason. The rock choir was there as well.
Love it.
So yeah,
did they play with rocks like the triangle, but they just hit rocks?
So like sort of Blue Man Group or Stomp, where they perhaps have no, they were just some people. It was pretty boring, in fact. They were one of the worst things about the whole day. But
fuck those guys.
So lots of like weird acts. Michael Ball was the compere. He's kind of a famous stage singer from England. I don't know how much of this is going to translate across the pond, or into Europe. But Luke Goss from Bros. I think Bros were pretty famous worldwide in the 80s.
Oh, definitely.
He's got like a Vegas swing show now, so he like turned up and did some songs for some reason. There was some really cool acts as well, and a couple that I didn't even know were going to be there. Like one of the biggest highlights, Albert Hammond played. I don't know how familiar people are with him. He's the dad of Albert Hammond Jr., the guitarist from the Strokes.
Oh, okay.
But he had loads and loads of hits through like the 60s and the 70s, and this dude actually wrote that All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe, which is a fucking banging song.
Yeah, man.
I never thought I'd see that dude, the dude who wrote that song, singing it live, but it was pretty special, I have to say.
I'll bet.
Also, Josh Groban, who is hilarious, by the way. Like, I'm not a huge fan of his music, but he's done so many funny things on like Kimmel and SNL. And he was genuinely properly funny, but also amazingly talented. Nice. He's the sort of bloke your nan likes, a sort of Michael Bublé, but more of a sort of stage kind of performer. I like it. He was cool. And probably the highlight, Gladys Knight. Again, another act you'd never think you'd see. This is the person who like originally released like Midnight Train to Georgia and heard it through the grapevine and stuff. And she's like 76, but she was really good.
Belting it out.
I've seen loads of like aging like sort of superstars who have like lost their voice 20 years ago, but people will still fucking buy tickets, so they just carry on.
Might as well.
That was not what was going on here. So yeah, it was fucking cool, man. It was a cool day. Finished off with like Land of Hope and Glory and like Jerusalem and National Anthem and a firework display.
That's what you want.
It was cool. Then on top of that, buddy, the beer was great there. They had like proper real ale tents. I was on some London Pilsner all day. £6 a pint though.
Wow. And we'll pay that.
And then the other personal little cheeky highlight, buddy, there was selection of Ponzi food there, including this place that exclusively did duck burgers. We were like, we'll have some of that.
Quackers, was it called?
Pretty expensive burger and chips. It was like 11 quid, so it was going to be like £22 from a fucking stall to have burger and chips. But nice. Their card machine wouldn't work, and they kept us waiting there for so long that in the end they were like, fuck it, just go. So we got free lunch. So yeah, very, very cool day. We really enjoyed it. It was just weird, like something that, we were like probably some of the youngest people there who weren't with their parents, so it was kind of weird. It's just Michael Ball getting everyone like fucking waving and shit, and they're all just turning up. Like, this place was so middle class that you could pre-order your gourmet picnic before you arrived at the event, and then pick it up from a stall when you arrived. Just
fucking
like,
ace. That's what you want.
So
that is what you want.
Crack out the prosecco and caviar. Beautiful.
It's not like I said the other day about sausage rolls and pepperonis.
No, there's no pom bear in those picnics, but that was probably their downfall, I would say.
God damn it!
I shan't have it. So yeah, that was my cool weekend. Sunday we just like hung about at home, cooked like a mega roast. I did like a massive chicken with like proper homemade stuffing and everything. It's fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
because it's the weather's turned and you can kind of have roasts again. It doesn't, you don't sit there having a roast. It's 33 degrees and you wish you were dead anymore.
It's fine.
So
don't worry about it.
It's autumn now and I'm fine with it. So there you go, buddy. That's me. I got nothing else to report.
Well, what are you drinking, buddy? That's a question.
I've had a Happy Chappy, a beer Moretti.
Nice. Happy Chappy.
And now I'm on the Starapramen. Got a couple of these.
Nice.
What about yourself, B?
I'm on the 1079 project right now. Cheap and cheerful.
Lovely.
It's a beautiful
Connoisseur's
thing.
choice.
Yeah. The funk steered me into the direction of another Pilsner that Audi are doing at the moment. I think it's called Rheinbacher. I think it's called that. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was like £3 for like 500 mils. I was like, I'll give it a go. And
bargain.
Yeah, that got the job done over the weekend. Not going to lie. Drunk a lot.
That's so cheap.
Yeah, man. I love it. It's amazing.
These are, I think these are 180 a pop.
Fucking cunts.
Yeah, unbelievable. I might have to. I think the nearest Aldi is in Tunbridge, I think. But there's rumours that there's one going in Tunbridge Wells within the next like 6 months or so.
Fucking days, son.
That'd be good.
You're in.
That would be walking distance as well.
That's what you want.
It's the dream.
Yeah, get some of that Aldi booze in you.
Fact. Well, we have a lot of games to talk about this week, so we should probably go and fucking do that, buddy, shall we?
Yeah, I'm going to be here for a while.
Let's go and talk about what we've been playing. So here's your moment, buddy. You've had a week to digest Destiny 2's Forsaken DLC, and I ask the immortal question, what have you been playing this week, buddy?
Well, this week, buddy, I've been playing Adventure Pals on the Switch.
Of course. Yep.
It's, I think I spoke about it before, but I wanted to raise it again, because obviously I was on the train, played a bit more. It's really fun. Like, awesome music, like, really, like, nice and upbeat, and they've got, like, really cool, like, little transitions. So, at the very beginning, you're at, like, a little campsite. It's kind of like techno-y music, just bobbing along. And then there's the campfire and these, I can't remember, I think they were cows or something. Some type of animal was playing the guitar, and you start walking towards them, and it slowly fades into the guitar music, and then you walk away, and it slowly fades out. I was like, that's a really nice little touch for such a little game. Sorry. Yeah, it's a really good, like, simple platformer. Like, not too difficult. It's got, like, little pickups you can get along the way. You have a giraffe in your backpack. That's always good. But
crucially important.
The main reason I want to raise it now for any PC players that have Amazon Prime, it's free on Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, or wherever it is at the moment. So I definitely recommend picking it up, even if you just give it a go for like an hour. It'll be a fun hour. So yeah,
what's the sort of graphical fidelity there? Is that the sort of thing that run on my Mac okay, or is it?
Yeah, run on it, no problem, mate.
Oh, I should pick that up
it's just a like nice, like the art style's really like cutesy as well. But it kind of, I think the first time I mentioned it, I thought it was made by the people that made Castle Crashers, but it isn't, which is a shame, because that was a really good game, Castle Crashers. Good times. Oh shit, we played that. Have we got that down? We played that game.
No, let me add that to the bottom.
Add that game. Not Castle Crashers, but that other one that's like Castle Crashers. I don't know. Foul Play?
Yes.
Nailed it in one.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, if you got Twitch Prime, pick it up. It's just nice, cutesy little game. Controls really well. It's pretty cool. So yeah, here's my moment, buddy. Destiny 2, Forsaken. I have been playing this all week. Like I said, I haven't slept a lot due to the fact that I can't put it down, but that's mainly because I love this game. So obviously this is coming from a person that really enjoys the Destiny universe, so you're going to have to take that with a pinch of salt, I guess. I was
going to say, like, that's obviously a major thing, but is that you fucking adore this thing already. So
yeah,
but I don't think most people who are interested in picking this up, it's not cheap. It's not the sort of thing you just buy on a whim anyway. You're probably into it already, aren't you? If you
more than likely. I think Sony did a clever thing. Not Sony, Bungie did it, and Sony did a clever thing of putting that on the old PS Plus this month. Yeah, which is definitely quite sneaky and clever. Yeah,
opportunistic.
Like exactly. Fuck it, why not? So yeah, take this is kind of rose tinted goggles or whatever you want to say, but it was like when Curse of Osiris came out, I gave it a bit of a kick in because it wasn't very good. This, on the other hand, is extremely good, my friend. The campaign, so the main campaign, I think it took me around about 10 to 12 hours to get through that. So that was 2 days, 2 evenings worth of gameplay. But we absolutely smashed it as a fire team of 3. Obviously, if I was doing this solo, it would be a lot harder and it would take a lot longer to get through that campaign. So the storyline itself is mainly about Prince Aldrin, who was in the original Destiny. He was the brother of Morozov, I think it is, the blue lady, the other Awoken. She was the queen of the reef. And yeah, she disappeared in the first game, and he is trying to find her or trying to bring her back from wherever she is.
Is this the dude who looks like Brett from Suede?
I don't know, but probably. He's got like the sideways quiffy thing like down on his face. Yeah,
gotcha.
That guy.
I know the one. He's a right arsehole in that cutscene, isn't he, in the Reef? Oh, in the first game.
Like, I was listening to a podcast, and the voice actor and also motion capture, he does both of them, was on the podcast, and he was just like, I love being like the evil dude. And like he plays it really, really well in this, like absolutely fantastic. Firstly, I want to say the cutscenes this time are just tenfold better than previous, because I mean you've got written down that you've played some Curse of Osiris. The cutscenes in that are fucking diabolical.
It's just totally phoned in engine, no sort of effort made whatsoever.
But really. No, they've really gone for that cinematic, like edge of your seat kind of, like trying to draw every kind of emotion out of you, which and they've done a massive thing of killing off one of the biggest characters within Destiny itself as well. There, I think.
Yeah, man. There's no excuse not to have like really cool, like cinematic art direction, because this isn't real life. You haven't got to put a camera there. This is an engine. Like you can do all that shit, can't you? So that sounds really cool.
I've really, really enjoyed the campaign. One thing that it does well is with Destiny, there's all kinds of different activities to be doing, like public events, patrols, adventures, just main quests and stuff like that. And this kind of during the campaign, it kind of ties them all in, which is pretty cool. So the main guy that you have to speak to is this guy called Spider. He's a fallen. He's a big fat guy, kind of like Jabba the Hutt, I'd say. He's pretty cool. He likes to collect dead ghosts, so like he's not a massive fan of the Guardians, I guess, but big whoop. And what it is, there's been a prison break, and all of these bad guys have got out, and he gives you all of these bounties. So it's not a linear campaign as well. You can take it as you want, really. You can take out these guys in different ways. Obviously, they're not like hidden behind like power levels, whereas previous campaigns were like, oh no, you're not level whatever, so you can't do this mission. You can just attempt it. And, if it's just really hard, it's just really hard. And I have enjoyed that fact about it. It's added like a bit more of a challenge to it, because obviously they've increased the power level, so everything is just a little bit harder now.
I'm 274, by the way, just in case you were wondering where I was at.
It's a big deal. I like it. Where am I? The bounties and things like that, and then getting towards the end of the campaign, it really ramps it up and like puts you like in a spot of questionability about the Guardians and things like that. It's cool. Like the story is there on this one, and a lot of people are comparing it to the Taken King, which we played and really, really enjoyed that. And yeah, this is a step above the Taken King, storyline wise, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the Taken King, the thing about it was better than the base game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, comfortably better than the base game.
And
it sounds
this is exactly the same.
From all sources that this is exactly the same
definitely. Game. One thing that they've done a big overhaul on everything. So one thing, they've introduced more bounties, which is fine, but I just feel there's just fucking way too many. So, like, there's bounties for doing strikes, there's bounties for doing Crucible, there's bounties for doing Gambit, there's bounties for every location on the map. So you go to, like, the EDZ, or you go to Titan or Mars, there's bounties you can do there. I mean, it's good because it's giving you opportunities to do whatever you want, really. But as someone that wants to do everything, I'm like, this needs to calm down a little bit. Like, this doesn't, it doesn't have to be that big, I don't. My main gripe is I have to either go to the tower, or I've got to go and see this guy, or I've got to go see that guy. So I've got to scoot about all the place collecting all these bounties. Like, spend 20 minutes when I start up. I'm like, right, I've got my bounties. I can go and play the game now. It's like, why can't I just be like, right, these are the bounties I'm doing. Let's fucking do it. Crack on.
Like they've never heard of a radio in the world of Destiny.
Yeah,
just give you a call.
It's a bit annoying that, but. I can
understand turning them in at the tower, but you shouldn't have to go there and pick them up.
You don't have to turn it, and that's
someone.
the thing. You don't have to turn anything in at the tower now. They've kind of got rid of like that entire token system. I mean, it's still there, but it's not as right. I've done that now. I need to go back to the tower to hand that in. Like a lot of them, like you powerful engrams where you did your weekly Crucible matches or your weekly strikes. You'd be like, right, I've done that. Let's go back to the tower, speak to Shax or whoever it is. Get my power engram. Like, literally now, it's like, when you've done that, bam, it just drops there and then. It's in my fucking inventory. Sweet, I can crack on, do my next thing, which is nice.
Okay.
The menu overhaul. So, like, the planetary, like, menu overhaul. Before, it was, like, you had a checklist down the side. Now, it shows you, like, what shit to do on each map. So, like, before you'd hold down L2, you get your list up, right, my flashpoint this week is on Mars, whereas now it just has Mars with a little fucking icon next to it, so you know, right, okay, flashpoint's there. So it's made it a bit more easier on the eyes and not a big fucking checklist, so that's always good. Guns, there's loads more guns to be getting now, but the main thing they've done with guns, apart from like the whole weapon slot system, so instead of having like your three types, kinetic, energy, and your power, where your like hand cannons would be in kinetic and energy, but sniper rifles would only be in energy now, and shotguns would only be in energy. Now you can get like kinetic shotguns, you can get energy shotguns and power shotguns. So technically the whole thing was, when they were doing the streams and stuff, you can run with 3 shotguns if you're that guy, kind of thing. Right. But the way they kind of manage that, so you're not just like ridiculously overpowered, is like they still have different ammo types, like so your primary, your special, and your power. So white, green, and purple, I think it is. So obviously white drops all the time, which is your primary. Orange, your green, which is your special, doesn't drop very often, and your power ammo barely drops at all, kind of thing. So it's not a case of, I've got loads of big guns and I can just fucking destroy everything now, which is, it's balancing. And they seem to have got that down pretty well. One thing they have added is the bow and arrow buddy. And this thing is fucking sweet as. It feels really good. I think I spoke about it last week a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, you did. I'm looking forward to giving that a burn once I get through what I'm doing.
It's incredibly satisfying. Let's just put it that way. It feels right.
The best thing about bow and arrow in video games, getting that arc and then it just dropping into a headshot.
You see. So with this, when you have full bar Charlie when you've full powered it, there's no drop off. It's just like a sniper.
Okay.
So if it's not fully charged, it does dip. and obviously does less damage. But when it's fully charged, it's like whack. And
I suppose that makes sense in like a sci-fi universe.
Yeah, it's not going
to be like Robin Hood.
Anything can happen.
I've always been a fan of the bit of the Dipper.
Indeed. But yeah, it's a very satisfying thing. They've added a new PvE/PvP mode, Gambit. So this is a game mode where it's 4-on-4 PvP, but you load into a map and you just fight loads of enemies. It's PvE. So what you do, you kill dudes, bigger the better, and they drop things called motes. You pick up these motes, you can hold a maximum of 15, and then you go back to the center of a map where there's like a little dildo structure, and you stick your motes in there. And what happens when you summon 5, 10, or 15 motes, it summons like a small, medium, or large dude on the other team's map to stop them banking their motes. So there's all different strats at the moment. We're like, right, we'll just get 5 in, chuck them in straight away, get a little dude in there while we clean up the others, and that'll stop them fucking getting their bank in. And then what you can do, there's a portal that'll open up. I don't know when. I still don't really understand how often this thing turns up. I think it depends on what score you've got and how well you're doing. Where one of your team can invade the other team's like instance, and you can go in and fuck them up. And it is fucking awesome. It's really, really satisfying because I love shooting the aliens. I love PvE in this game. It's really good. And I don't mind PvP. It's not too bad. But it's just a really good... I don't know. It's a completely different game mode, and it is a lot of fun. Just trying to
nice
get there.
that they're doing different stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, totally. It's crazy. They I think it was last week or the week before, they had they've got a thing called Crucible. I don't know, I can't remember what it is. Like a test area anyway, and a couple of weeks ago it was just like rocket launchers only kind of mode, and it was really cool. Like just fucking stupid stuff like that. So when you've banked like 75 motes, a big old fucking primeval spawns, and he's got like 3 sections of health, and obviously the first one to knock their primeval down to death wins. But what happens is you get it down to like 2/3 or 1/3, and you get invaded by the other team, and if they kill you, your primeval's health goes back up. So there's like points where, because you can see how far the other team's health has gone down on their primeval, so you're like, right, we need to fucking go in there now and fucking murk them, get them down so they get their health back up. And it makes for this really interesting game mode at the end where literally it can go either way. Like if you're both going at it, like you just don't know who's going to win, because there's been points where like their primeval has been like on the cusp. One of our guys goes in, kills 3 of them, and he's back up to like 2/3 now, and then we just smash our supers and fucking kill ours, and we're like, shit, we just pulled that round. It's something else. It's really, really cool. It's a cracking game mode.
It sounds like a nice addition and a cool, interesting, innovative game mode.
Yeah, it definitely is. Only a few more things to touch on, nothing major. So the 2 new areas that have been added are called the Tangled Shore and the Dreaming Shore even, and the Dreaming City. So the Tangled Shore is pretty much the reef, loads of rocks held together by ropes and whatnot. This is where Spider is. You can pick up your bounties. It's like a standard, I'd say, Destiny 2 area. It's pretty large, which is good. Definitely bigger than Mercury. I think it's probably as big as Mars. And what's nice about this is there's quite a few like hidden layers underneath it, and there's things up in the sky where you can go up special poop chutes, I'm going to call them. You go up them and then there's shit up there, so it's got a bit of verticality into it as well. But the main place is the Dreaming City, and I've only spent about 3 hours in this place, but those 3 hours were fucking amazing, because I was just like, firstly, it looks awesome, proper like next level space place. I don't know, it's all crazy.
Was it like a sort of futuristic, is it like a really clean sort of thing,
it's like it's all in the clouds, it's all nice and clean, but then again there's like some danger zones. I don't know, like I'm not doing it justice with the description, but yeah, it's a beautiful place to be, but also incredibly dangerous, because like the enemies are just insanely hard most of the time. But what I loved about this was just fucking investigating, because this has been made as the end game, in air quotes, destination, where there's just going to be loads of crazy shit going on. And that seems to be the case. We were jumping around, and I was like, oh, I wonder, because there's all rocks and bits and bobs all over the place. So we just started jumping around, saw this little statue, we got up there, then we're like, what's this? And there's just a little cat fucking thing on the floor. We're like, what's this? And then it was like, oh, offer him a tribute. So I had some salty stuff or whatever, I don't know what it was. I gave it to this cat statue, and he gave me some loot. I'm like, wow. That was nice. That was a nice find. Then dicking about a little bit more, kind of jumped off the edge, and I was like, oh, there's a cave there. This really small, minuscule little opening. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I can get in there. Got in there. Fucking went into this incredibly small crab town cave. Made my way through, and I was like, oh, there's a blue statue thing again. Oh, there's another cat. Hello. Fucking gave him some stuff. Yeah. It was nice. So yeah, I'm now on the hunt of trying to find loads of cats in Destiny 2, which has been fun.
A valiant cause, buddy.
Indeed. But there's loads of stuff to this. There's shit where you can drink special potions and you go fucking into different dimensions and all kinds of crazy shit. It's awesome. There's going to be a lot to do there. Let's put it that way. And then finally, buddy, the raid's out. The new raid is out this Friday. Hopefully, I'm going to get in there this weekend and give it a nosy about, because another thing about the Dreaming City is it's meant to be evolving as time goes on, which is interesting. So I want to see as much as I can before shit starts disappearing. I don't know. It's kind of cool. There you go. Sorry. That was rather lengthy. There was a lot to talk about. There's probably loads
it's cool,
more,
man.
but I'll get onto
it's
it.
a podcast, so, if people don't want to hear that, then they can just skip it. It's not really a big deal. But
that's true.
It's your passion and a game-sized update to your favourite game, so it's kind of understandable that you want to have a chat about it.
Gibbons. It's fucking sweet. I love it. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah, man, it's just really, really good. It's definitely the best that Destiny I've ever played. Fucking sweet.
So that'd take you around to the end of the year before you play a different game then, at this point?
No, because Red Dead 2's out, mate. Don't worry about that. That is definitely getting played.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that very much so.
Gibbons, me too. So that's pretty much what I've been playing this week. What about you, buddy?
I have been playing... I'm going to get a couple of things that I kind of bounced off of out the way first.
Okay.
Firstly... I've now played all of the PS Plus titles for September.
Nice.
And there were 7 of them, so, it's got to kind of delve through so you don't have to, buddies. But God of War 3 Remastered. Obviously, I was mad for God of War. I've platinumed that game in the end and absolutely loved it, everything about it. And was therefore excited but a little bit concerned about playing God of War 3.
Yeah.
Because... It's God of War, but my first entry in the God of War series was the new one, which is nothing like the previous 3. I didn't really know how different it was going to be, but I completely bounced off this, buddy. It's just it feels really dumb. It just feels really childish and dumb.
I like it.
It's just a hack and slasher. All the characters are mega one-dimensional. They're just really shit voice acting as well, and they're just I will defeat you. Sort of just nice. Cartoony, almost like a JRPG level of stupid fucking evil boss kind of thing, and. It's a problem. It's a problem for me, and I persevered for about an hour, and then I turned it off. I don't think I'm going to play it again. The combat's fun. The combat's a more lightweight version of the combat in the new one.
Yeah.
But the whole thing just feels really stupid. Once those characters have been fleshed out properly in the new one and kind of a more mature experience. Then playing this hack and slash game that's just
it's just nothing,
all combat and no there's no meat to it at all.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that lots of people would have been going in the other direction here, you know, like lots of people who were fans of this trilogy were like,
yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck is this RPG shit?
Yeah, man, they would have seen that original trailer, I think it was E3, where it just looked like The Last of Us, basically.
Yeah,
they would have just been like, what the fuck have they done to our game? It's...
I'm going to say made it better.
Yeah, well, to me they did. To me they did. They're going their way, I'm going my way. I liked the new game. I liked the story, and I liked how fleshed out and rich the world was. There's no world building here. It's just a silly hack and slash game where you're fucking falling off objects and hanging upside down and, you know, killing 300 enemies in 5 minutes kind of thing. So it's not got any of the nuance. I'm just not going to play it. It's not for me. It's a shame.
It is.
I was looking forward to it, but
I don't think I'm going to boot it up, to be honest. I mean, it's there for one day if I really want to, but no.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice remaster, because I remember seeing it on PS3 and it looked, you know, dog shit, frankly.
Yeah.
But it does look nice here for what it is, but yeah, no, not for me, Jeff. No, thank you very much. Elsewhere, Destiny Curse of Osiris. I fired up Destiny 2, and obviously because you got the season pass originally and now you've picked up Forsaken, I've got access to all of that content, and you know, I thought, well, I guess I need to work my way through all of this content, see what level I'm at the end of it, and so on. So I played a couple of hours maybe of Curse of Osiris, 2.5 hours maybe, and yeah, I mean, it's just the same. It's just the same as the second. It's the same as the base game.
Yep.
It's the same as the first game. And yeah, I don't know really. I think I've got 3 missions left of the sort of 10 of them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm beavering away through it. I'll go on to Warmind next, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just Destiny. Like, sure, it's the same game that I played in, like, I don't know, when did the first one come out?
Yeah. I don't know. 4 years
2015 ago. Was it 14? I don't know. I just like, yeah, okay. So I mean, everyone says it's the worst of the DLC packs.
It's not great.
I'm not judging any of the new content on this one, but you know, it is what it is. It's just some more missions to Destiny 2 bolted on the side, basically.
Yeah, it's very slapdash Curse of Osiris.
Yeah, man, totally. I'm looking forward to trying out some of the other
Jimmy
DLCs.
Warmind, mate, it steps it up a little bit.
Yeah,
he's all right.
But the bottom line is, and I can't judge any of the new content on this, the worst fucking DLC pack of all of them. But at the same time, like, it's just the same thing. I just don't really. I'll probably go through it all. I'd like to get to Forsaken, but I'd quite like to see all that DLC first. We did pay for it, so
I would say Destiny isn't a single solo player game at all, as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're like mega high level and on with your dads every night, so no one else has got the pack.
Yeah,
like,
obviously.
I can't play it with fun or anything, so there's not much I can do about that, really. But I'd quite like to get to Forsaken so I can
we'll
join them. But yeah, so that'll be ongoing from me, I think, because it's quite satisfying just playing through and shooting the dudes and so on, but not really much there. But yeah, as you say, it's the weakest of all of them. So also, I've been playing Quoob, the PS Plus puzzle kind of Portal-esque type thing.
Yeah.
I'm about 3/4 of the way through this game. It keeps introducing new things. So there was stuff where if you shot certain coloured blocks, then they did stuff. Then there was like, now you can rotate bits and use the coloured blocks, so you got to get them in the right spot, setting jump or some shit. Then there was like, there's going to be a ball falling down now, and you got to use the rotations and the coloured blocks to get the ball somewhere. And then there was, now you've got to get the ball to go through various different coloured blocks to be the right colour, so when it falls in a pit, then it accepts it. And then there was, now you're going to do this in the dark,
Oh, nice.
And that's like, well, I don't know why anyone would think that would be fun. And then it was like, now you're going to do it in the dark, but the different colours, you can only have one colour turned on at a time. And so you have to pick them in order. And the bottom line here, buddy, I'm getting fucking sick of this, frankly. I've waltzed my way through this solo campaign.
Yeah.
And the best thing about Portal was the puzzles were incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
They never introduced too many mechanics.
That's
they kind of
true.
eased you in. And it was fun to do them. And that's crucial, buddy, because it's a fucking video game. So
that's
it's
the thing with Portal
important.
is like you had, what you had, you had your abilities. And then they were like, let's flesh this out as far as we fucking can. So it's the same things, but you just had to think of it in a different way. It wasn't adding stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff.
It's mega satisfying as well.
Real satisfying.
But this is not satisfying. This is, literally my response. This is what I think in my head each time I finish one of these puzzles.
Fuck you!
Oh, done that one.
Nice.
And that's it. That's basically it. I'd quite like to finish this game now because I've almost finished this game now. But at the same time, there's nothing in it for me. I don't expect a big payoff at the end, and I'm not enjoying it. So I should probably stop.
Just stop, mate. There's no need to play that.
I just feel like I don't want the game to beat me, but I feel like the game's beating me by being monotonous rather than clever.
Yeah.
So maybe I should let it win there. Speaking of shit games, buddy. Actually, no. Cube's not a shit game. It's just a puzzle game. I've been playing some Knack.
Right.
Okay.
I
have nothing to say about it. I just thought I'd let you know.
Cool.
If you wanted to maybe stage an intervention or something, then obviously that's an option that's open to you.
I mean, in one sitting this week, or not one sitting, but in this week, you have played Destiny 2 and Knack. I am a bit worried.
I have played Destiny 2 and Knack, and make that a trifecta. I've also played COD.
What?
It's been a weird time. But yeah, Knack is a rubbish. It's a rubbish 3D platform game that's overly difficult for no real reason or joy. It's not satisfying. The enemies are just a bit annoying.
Yeah.
And what I will say about the enemies in Knack is all of them hit too hard. All of them. So I don't mind there being interesting timing involved in working out how to defeat an enemy or whatever, but if you put 3 enemies in there and at any moment they could randomly do some special move, and if they make contact with you in any way, you'll die from full health, that is bad. That's a bad game.
That's not good.
It's just a shit game. It looks shit now as well because it's fucking 5-6 years old. They probably started making this thing in 2011. Don't play it, it's rubbish. So yeah, that's that. Finally from me, we've played a couple of things together. But finally from me, buddy, I have been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Battle Royale mode, Blackout.
So this is the Battle Royale mode. Is it 88 players now? I think they've upped it to.
It is 88. Yep. At least for the time being.
Yeah. And Call of Duty in a big map. How does that work out?
Well, I'd like to say it's toilet because obviously this is fucking COD, and an Activision game, and it's just the 4th Black Ops, and the whole thing's just copying PUBG. But I can't say any of those things, buddy, although all of that's true. This is really good. It's really good.
Really?
It's really good.
I don't believe you.
Now, this is coming from a point of view of someone who hasn't had the chance to play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which obviously has been out for a while, a year and a half, 2 years now. Massive deal. Loads and loads of people love it worldwide. As a PlayStation player, I didn't have the option of playing that, although it sounds like that was a fucking blessing rather than a curse, considering how the Xbox One runs. But this is my first foray into playing a proper Battle Royale game. No interest in Fortnite whatsoever, for a myriad of obvious reasons. So and I kind of thought, like, I didn't really know I don't know what Battlefield's up to. I missed that beta, by the way. I literally care so little about that game that I completely forgot about it. I fired it up today, to find, what was it, today or yesterday? Yesterday, I think, to find that the beta had ended 3 hours earlier. I was like, okay, well, there you go. Don't care.
That's a shame.
This is Call of Duty. It plays exactly like Call of Duty. It looks like Call of Duty. It runs a solid 60 frames. The movement is exactly what you'd expect. It plays exactly like Black Ops 3 without the wall running and double jumping and all that bullshit. It's got the mantling. It's got the sliding on your knee. You can pull yourself up quite nicely with stuff. The guns feel, solid like Black Ops 3. It's Black Ops, but it's also PUBG, and it steals every fucking mechanic from that game. It's got all of them in there. You start off, you can jump out of a bunch of helicopters. There's the staging area at the start, which is just a pointless way while the game manages to sync everyone up. And then you jump out your chopper, you skydive, you got a wingsuit, then you get your parachute and you go for a building. It's a Battle Royale game. I don't really know what to say about it. Sounds like a Battle
Royale game.
Yeah, except it works perfectly and runs perfectly, and there's no latency issues. This is the beta, by the way. There's no latency issues. Like, it doesn't shit itself at all. All of the running works properly. All of the hit detection works really, really well from what I can see. There's vehicles in there and they're good. There's no fucking lagging about or anything. You've got ATVs, you've got vans, trucks, and little helicopters as well.
Helibobs.
It's got an inventory system that works really, really well, as in you can pick stuff up. You come across, you got a gun out, you come across a scope on the floor, you can hold triangle to pick it up as normal, or square. If you hold that, it'll immediately equip it to your weapon. It's got a D-pad style quick select options, and all in all, what I'm saying is, I think the reason I'm praising it is because it works really well. And I think that's something that shouldn't be taken for granted.
Yeah, because I thought this was going to be fucking bollocks.
H1Z1 is an absolute shit show.
It's
frankly.
not great. My experience wasn't fun.
PUBG runs like arseholes on Xbox.
It's true. And isn't very well, customized for it.
No, the only game that runs properly on the consoles at the moment in this genre is Fortnite.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal, I think. And it'll obviously mean far more to me than to people who, if you're a PC gamer who's been playing PUBG for a year, then this is completely irrelevant to you, I would say. No one gives a fuck. This has got far less to it than PlayerUnknown's, and so therefore probably of no interest to you whatsoever. It is worth noting that today was the day that PUBG dropped below 1 million concurrent users on Steam for the first time ever, coinciding with the launch of this closed beta. That might be an interesting thing to consider. But yeah, bottom line, me and Funk have played this game for, 3 hours today, something like that.
Yeah.
And we fucking had a great time. We've had a really good time.
Nice.
It's got solo play, duos, so teams of 2, and 4 players.
Squadage.
Teams of 4. It all just fucking works properly, man. Just feels like a AAA experience, and there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I think we'll have to have a go after the podcast, buddy. Get in some squads, see if Funk's on, see how it goes.
I think he'll be on. I'm waiting. Friend of the podcast, Pete, has this as well, so we might have a ready-made squad of 4 to try out later on.
We'll wrap this up quick then.
Yeah, no, it's I didn't expect to like it. I didn't want to like it, and I've never considered myself a big shooter fan, let alone a fucking Battle Royale fan.
Yeah,
but it's just the amazing like emergent gameplay that you get. You know, we spent and by the way, we've come second twice today out of those. So we were doing really well, like not engaging people, just really good at like stealthing and
well, that's
hiding.
it, isn't it? I mean, from playing fucking Wild Pants for so long and stuff like that, you've got that kind of built into you now. It's like, right,
I like this so much more than that game.
Oh yeah, obviously, because this is gonna be it's not a case of like you're on this small map and everyone's got different abilities. It's like you're there and you've got what you've got and you have to use it to your best abilities, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like arcadey in that fashion, but the guns are really meaty. They all work really well.
Yeah,
great selection of them as well, and loads of little extras and stuff like. When you jump in the back of a truck on GTA without actually getting in it properly, you just slide off the back.
Classic.
In this, there's none of that. Like, you can just stand in the back of a truck or go
shoot
prone in the back of a truck. Yeah, exactly. Nice. You can have like 3 or 4. As many as you can fit in there can go in the back of that thing. It's got a grappling hook, so you can grapple shit like 200 feet in the air and fucking fly through the air like Batman. It's really good. It's really good.
Sorry, I was drinking then. It was like, fucking... that sounds ace. So someone gets in a chopper, you attach to it, and they can just fucking fly you along while you're like...
yeah, just like... Yeah, exactly.
Get
and just like Batman about...
machine gun out and just go to town.
All sorts of perks. It's got...
That sounds like fun. Needs to be done.
It's got RC recon cars, so you can drive a little radio-controlled car into a base and just fucking... You can't shoot anyone, but you can just like scout the place out.
Though, yeah. Like old,
it's got deployable Rainbow barriers and stuff because it's Black Ops, so it's got like electric fence barriers you can deploy in front of doors and shit. It's all the whole map's got all the different areas are themed on locations from Call of Duty. So you've got like Nuketown Island and there's an asylum and there's special drops there, but if you go in there's like AI zombies in like zombies mode. It's good.
Love zombies.
I'll stop there because we'll obviously talk about it next week with you.
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't really have much high hopes for this, but it sounds quite promising.
No, I was so angry at myself for missing the Battlefield one, and I thought, hang on, doesn't the Black Ops one start today? Or yesterday or whatever? So got involved.
I'm not too fussed about Battlefield.
No, I'm not too fussed. I'm not too fussed about it.
After playing it the other day, and I was like, yeah, that's really shit. Oh, I forgot. Last week I mentioned that. Well, we mentioned that the premium pass is free, and I said, oh no, it's only for Origin users. It's not. It's free for everyone. So if you want to get that shit,
okay.
Up until the 18th. So our podcast is out before that, so you should have time to grab it. Do it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, this is out on the 15th, so you got the weekend to get that sorted, buddies.
Gibbons.
Sweet. We'll very quickly just talk about a couple of things that we played as well together. One of them, after the podcast last week, we played Foul Play, which is that PS Plus game I was talking about last week with the sort of 2D side-scrolling action, but on a theatre stage. And what did you make of that, buddy?
It was definitely interesting the way, you know, how you said it was set on a stage, and it's like a show where like there's like crew members like putting props up and getting in the way, or like they're on screen and then like, oh, and they run off. But then after that, it was quite one-dimensional in a way, I feel.
And that problem with the combat as well, where you keep kind of not being able to connect with people if you're not exactly on the same axis of them in terms of like forward and back.
I was getting used to it a bit more as we played it. I mean, we got through what, like 4 or 5 stages, and they're quite lengthy. But there just wasn't enough variety, I would say, for me in that initial hour or so of playing it. I was just like, okay, we've done the same encounter about 30-40 times now, and that's okay, you know, that's what it is. Story-wise, it seems quite funny. You know, it's got some classic British humour in there, which is always good. But it wouldn't be a game that I'd be like, yeah, you need to play this kind of thing. Which is
I totally go along with all of that. I think I was hinting at that last week, but I wanted to give it a bit more of a fair chance. But we played it for a good like hour.
Yeah, the fact that it's got online co-op as well is kind of cool. So like, if you have got someone that you play games with and you're in a bit of a drought, yeah, maybe just fire this up for an evening and just smash through it and see how you get on.
Gibbons, absolutely. So the other one we played, and this was after trying to play Mantis Burn Racing, which we will get onto in the news section. We played some Blaze Rush this week, famous Blaze Rush that featured so heavily on the podcast about 100 episodes ago.
Can I open all the ports?
Yeah.
Which I did.
This is to do with your DMZ, isn't it? Your DMZ settings.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. There are certain ports you can open, but I was just like, fuck it. Went on the router settings, whacked on DMZs, put in the IP of a PS4. All the ports are open, so that fixed that problem again.
Fill your boots.
Yeah.
This is such a great game, isn't it?
Oh, mate, this game's fantastic. It's brilliant. It's such a great co-op game. We mainly play the death race, which is however many of you. I think it's up to 8 you can have. Or is it 6? I can't remember. Probably 8. There's just a big old grinding wheel behind you. You've got to get away from it and stay in front. But the problem is, if you stay in front, you don't pick up any power-ups. So you have weapons and also boosts. I use L2 and R2 for me boosts and the weapons. And yeah, so you can kill each other with your weapons and you can boost around people and stuff like that. And obviously, last man standing gets so many points, and it might be 3 or 2, I can't remember. Then next gets 2 or 1. And it's I think we were playing first to 15. And it's just really, really fun. It's just, yeah, that's the word. It is fun.
Feels sort of nuanced to play. You've got the way that you kind of steer and control is using the analog sticks rather than holding an accelerator down. And that frees up all your face buttons for combat and so on. But it also means that it feels a little bit sort of unlike any other game, really. And I think it benefits heavily from that.
Yeah, definitely. We got into the way of, right, so someone picks a certain class of car, and then we all have to do that same car. And that was kind of cool because it gave it even that more, or that extra bit of variety in there. So we were playing with ridiculously drifting cars and things like that, and it was just oh my god, this is completely different, using these things, and it just added to it. It was loads of fun,
Gibbons.
And I'm looking forward to playing more stupid games like that and Gang Beast when everyone else picks it up.
That's the name of the game when it comes to a game night, buddy. We need more of that sort of nonsense shenanigans going
I think so. Because we've had previous games in the past. Like Bomberman was a classic on the 360. It was just loads of fun. Classic arcade fun. And yes, every now and again after... when we've been having so many game nights and we're oh shit, we're taking this a bit too seriously now, we need to just back off and get some stupidity in there, and then we go through that, and then it's a nice circle kind of how we do it, to be honest, on a game night, the rotation and stuff like that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's important to keep switching it up, otherwise it gets a bit stale, doesn't it? Gibbons. So there you go. Masses of games. So you can't say that this podcast isn't about video games this week, buddy, because it really fucking is.
Indeed.
We should probably, with that in mind, move on.
Gibbons.
And now it's time for the news.
Fucking news.
Number one.
Number Wang.
Yeah. Number Wang. EA is under criminal investigation in Belgium for ignoring the country's new gambling laws and not removing loot crate mechanics from FIFA 18, with the added intention of launching FIFA 19 with no changes either. EA CEO Andrew I'm a fucking cyborg Wilson said their games were developed and implemented ethically and lawfully around the world. Sure. He also said the games don't feature gambling because players always receive a specified number of items in each pack, and because you can't sell these items externally.
Sure.
Okay. Belgian Public Prosecutor's Office will now decide whether EA has contravened the new laws and whether to therefore prosecute. This is kind of a thing with new laws, new regulations in a country, is that they're open to interpretation as people kind of feel them out and work out exactly what they mean. EA will kind of be banking on the idea that this is unproven. Maybe it won't pass through like all of the different people who have to kind of consider it. What I'm saying is there's a very real chance that EA could actually kind of
they
win
could
this,
swindle
or
this.
The prosecutor could decide not to take it all the way to court. I'm not really sure. It's just the first time the new law has been interpreted, so it's kind of don't know. I think it's really fucking amusing that EA have done this.
Stuck to their guns and be like, what are you on about? This isn't gambling, you fucktards.
Yeah, especially considering the recent moves that they've made with regard to other games, like Battlefront 2 crates. They've
taking
removed them and like apologised for them. They said they wouldn't have any of these crates in Anthem when that comes out.
Yeah, that's true, but you know, they're quite happy to keep it in FIFA, aren't they? Because obviously they make fuckloads of money off of this. They're like, oh no, we better keep them in. Brilliant. I love it. Well played, fucking EA. You're amazing.
It's crazy. It's just crazy. There's no more horrible, miserable excuse for an organisation on this earth, as far as I'm concerned. 2K have been taking a run at it this week as well, but you know, just awful cunts, awful, horrible fucking cunts. And Andrew Wilson, I'm afraid, as someone who's probably being paid the mega bucks to be the face of this company,
big monies.
You seem like a fucking absolute cunt, mate. Just out to prey on children.
All you gotta do is look on his face, or at his face. Really.
Just despicable behaviour from a bunch of fucking assholes. I really do hope they get absolutely destroyed here. It's going to be very interesting. I would imagine that the economy of Belgium is probably similar to the earnings of EA, so it's going to be probably a fair fight, maybe you could describe it as, except probably. One of them's a fucking games company and the other one's a fucking government. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. And plus, you know, like, I mean, this could have massive ramifications on the rest of the world and how other people see
everything.
It. Exactly. A lot is riding on this.
There is a lot riding on this. If EA win this, then all of the other companies just chuck their hats back in the ring.
Yeah, and they're like, fuck you. We can do it too.
If Belgium win this, then every other nation in Europe could go the same way. Yeah. So this is probably the biggest thing that's going to happen in video games in our lifetime, I would say.
Seriously.
But we shall see. We shall see. Speaking of EA games, buddy, I've got some news on FIFA.
FIFA, yeah.
Because although I think EA are a bunch of horrible cunts, this is the news section of a video games podcast, so I'm going to... fair is fair. Fresh from announcing that they'd have all of La Liga stadiums in FIFA 19, except the Camp Nou.
Obviously.
EA's announced that FIFA will have some more new stadiums this year. Probably the biggest headline is that they're going to have the new Spurs stadium, the new Tottenham stadium, which does not have a name yet. No,
I was going to come up with a name. I haven't got one.
No, that's fine. They haven't come up with one either. So something about I don't know. You know,
are they mainly Jewish? Hero, so the Jews. Mega Jew
Stadium. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to go down especially well. No. Either way, the thing about this that's interesting is because of the fact that the opening of Tottenham's new stadium has been delayed, I think at the weekend they're playing at Wembley again against Man City. That's the early kickoff on Saturday, buddy. Yep. Premier League fucking back.
Oh, it's back.
Going to be good. So this will be the first chance you get to properly see the stadium from the inside is on FIFA, because that's now going to come out before Spurs' first home game in their new ground.
That's crazy.
So you've had Liverpool reveal their third kit on PES. Now you've got Spurs revealing their new stadium on FIFA.
On FIFA, nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, fuck it.
Some other stadiums, Craven Cottage, much to the fucking disgust of friend of the podcast, Pete, who would love to know why PES has a brand sponsorship deal with Fulham,
but they're not
including their stadium,
even though they had it last year.
Yeah, Fratton Park, Villa Park, Cardiff City's ground.
Wow, big ones then.
Yeah, well, the other one's Wolves, Molineux.
Okay, yeah.
There was a tweet from the official Wolves Twitter account They said, "We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Ivy Lane for being a fantastic host to the club over recent years." Ivy Lane being the fictional ground that Wolves play at on FIFA.
Yeah.
We leave with a heavy heart, but the time has come for us to return home.
That's nice.
Good stuff.
Well played.
So yeah, there's a selection of reasons to buy FIFA if you needed any more. And I can give you loads, but we're not going to talk about PES this week.
Not this week. Maybe next. Probably next week.
Probably next. So we'll move on to number 2, talking about the temporary nature of modern games, buddy, or so I thought at least. This week, when we were looking for exciting, fun games to play on game night, we tried to play a game called Mantis Burn Racing. This is a top-down racer, like arcadey racer, sort of old school, kind of that Micro Machines vibe, but Little Racer Street being the one we had on the 360 that we really liked, and we picked this up a couple of years ago now and really enjoyed it, so we thought, we'd give that a go.
Gibbons. Good game.
Fired up the game, and it would appear that the servers had been turned off. We weren't able to find any public lobbies, which we weren't necessarily expecting, but also we weren't able to make our own lobbies. It just said, unable to connect to the Mantis Burn Racing servers, please try again later. Now, unbeknownst to Vufu Studios, the creators of Mantis Burn Racing, I actually tried this about a month ago, and it also didn't work then. And I wrote it off at the time thinking, I don't know, whatever. I was just playing the game anyway. I picked up some trophies a month or two ago, and I think I just went into the online to see how many people were playing it, and the answer was none. Or rather, the answer was the servers aren't there. So,
you can't. So
anyway,
definitely none.
So yeah, there's no P2P options here. It was dedicated servers by the looks, and that meant that we couldn't play it. And I was kind of thinking, well, we could leave it at that, but that's not cool, man. Like, this game isn't mega old. It's only just come out on Switch as well. So the studio's a full-time studio that's still developing. Like, they're working on new projects at the moment, and they've released Mantis Burn recently. Famously, Mantis Burn was one of the first games to have crossplay as well, between PS4 and PC and Xbox One and PC.
PS4?
No,
crossplay that. Who'd have thought it?
Strange one. But the game also, the thing that really tipped me over the edge was I went onto the store and it still says on there extensive online modes for up to 8 players, and then I was like, well, who fucking makes this thing anyway? And it turns out it's the dudes who make Pure Pool and that poker game that I bought.
Brilliant.
Which is quite funny.
Great guys.
But
love those guys.
They're a studio in Birmingham, and they've been heavily advertising the fact that the game is discounted below $5 on the store at the moment.
Yeah.
And advertising its online gaming capabilities and so on. And I was like, this isn't cool, man. Like, I'm not having this.
That's false advertising, mate.
It's not cool, is it? So I sent him a message on Twitter saying, this game isn't working. Like, the server's still active for this game, didn't get a response, left it a couple of days, tweeted him again from the JfG podcast account saying, saying we'd like to know, and wondering if that would carry some more weight, because they don't know that only 5 people listen to this, but they haven't got any idea at all. So anyway, I got a response
this week now. Though.
Yeah, I got a response saying that yes, the game features online modes for up to 8 players, and to try enabling crossplay for the best chance of finding matches. Now, this obviously, 2 things here. Firstly, I know that it's supposed to support 8 players, but it fucking doesn't at the moment, buddies. And also, don't be telling me to put crossplay on, because although crossplay was turned on already, no cunts playing your game. There's no fucking servers, no lobbies to join. There's nothing
no
there.
Servers, mate.
Yeah, so, yeah, I replied and I said, it looks to me like the servers aren't on, mate, because I can't search for public lobbies. There's no one playing it. I can't create private lobbies. I've had crossplay enabled the whole time. And then I jumped on their Discord and I started sending them messages on there saying, anyone playing on PS4? Doesn't seem to be working. I got a few nibbles. Other people saying, it doesn't seem to be. I haven't played it for a while on PS4, but no, it's not fucking working.
Yeah, no, it's not working.
So this morning I woke up to a message from Vufu saying that they apologised for the temporary outage and saying that the servers are now back online, And I loaded up the game this afternoon, buddy, and the servers are back online. So
Nice.
I can only speculate.
Count it down as a win, buddy.
All I can say is that the servers didn't appear to be on before, and your boy JfG Alex pestered the company for a couple of days, and the servers do seem to be on now, buddies.
We'll have to see every week until they get turned off again.
Yeah, now whether they were actually turned off, obviously I'm speculating. What they didn't know was, last Friday wasn't the first time recently that I've tried to play the thing. And a month ago it didn't work either, which it seems unlikely that they were suffering
an
problems
issue for
then,
a month.
and now, but there's no interest anyway because there's no one playing. So I can only conclude tentatively that they've turned the servers back on for us, buddy. So you're welcome, everyone, and it's a great game for under a fiver. So highly recommend you pick it up, buddies.
Gibbons. Now that
and let me know if the game doesn't work or the servers don't work, buddy, and I'll get on to the boys in Birmingham and make sure they fucking sort that shit out.
Why can't I play my game online?
Yeah, what the hell?
This is
So yeah, there you go. That's my most important news. I've got very little else, so I'll just breeze through these very quickly, buddy, in a sort of favourite news things of the week kind of fashion.
classic. I love it.
Fortnite Monopoly has been announced. It's launching this October. Pre-orders are selling out really quickly for some reason.
Fucking love Fortnite. Best game
Civilization 6 is coming out on the Nintendo Switch.
I'll back that up.
Fucking, that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I'll back that up.
Got it like that.
I mean, I've got it on PC, but I haven't played it yet.
No,
I think I bought it back in like January. It's like,
I
buying
can't run
games.
that thing, so I couldn't jump in with you, really. Yeah, that's cool that it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, man. It's going to have all the DLC until then as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, why it should come out on consoles, to be honest. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's just putting that work in with the controller, isn't it? Whereas Switch's got a touch screen.
Touch screen. Oh, fuck. It's going to be a shit version, isn't it?
I don't think so. They're making the proper one, but
better be alright.
They're making a UI for it and everything. Don't know.
I'll report on it when I back it up.
Yeah, let me know when you back it up, buddy. Finally from me, Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game, is the fastest selling game of the year so far, which is always an achievement for a game that's a console exclusive, I think. It's the fastest selling game of the year so far, narrowly beating Far Cry 5, which was multi-platform, of course. Amazingly as well, considering how well it did, Spider-Man has sold double that of God of War in its opening week. And I thought God of War apparently did very, very well.
It did very well. But this is
absolutely bossy.
It's a bit more mainstream, I'd say, Spider-Man than old Kratos, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, the certification alone would give it a massive leg up, wouldn't it? But
that is true.
But yeah, everyone loves a bit of Spider-Man. Game looks awesome. I'm looking forward to picking it up when it's heavily discounted, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Me too. We'll report on that game like when no one really cares about it.
Gibbons. Sounds like a plan to me.
It's what we do.
As is tradition. Gibbons. So yeah, that's my news, buddy. I think it's probably only fair, therefore, that I hand over to you for my favourite section, and I'm sure the listeners as well. And that, of course, is Ash's News Favourite Things of the Week.
If you like news but hate information, you have found the right place. Ash's News Favourite Thing of the Week.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, things this week that have been in the news. Gonna do it as quick as I can because I want to go play COD. Xbox Australia has released a grease-proof PUBG controller. It's for people with greasy hands, I guess, and you can wipe it clean. Sure.
Is there a barbecue in Australia aspect to this at all, or is it just a greasy hand thing specifically?
Probably. I didn't read it.
Me being racist? Don't know.
Maybe.
Is it racist?
I mean, I would read it,
barbecues?
But the article's not fucking loading up right now.
To be honest, it wouldn't be in the spirit of this news section, buddy, for you to investigate further. So please don't.
There's something about winner chicken dinner slogan because PUBG
kind of what I thought.
Got that in there, didn't they? Because that's never been around before. That cunts. Dead Cells, that game I played on the Switch quite a bit. It's outselling, on the Switch, it's outselling the PS4 version 4-1.
Shit, that's crazy.
I know. Loads of people playing Dead Cells on the Switch, which is nice. Oh, we've already said about PUBG dipping below 1 million. There's a Forza Horizon 4 demo available today. Today being Wednesday. So if you want to play Forza Horizon 4, there's a demo of it. I'd do that.
There you go.
That sounds good. Battlefield 1 Premium Pass is now free. We said that until the 18th of September. We touched on that. That's on everything. Alan Wake, that guy from Alan Wake, could be returning as a live-action television series. Everyone's getting on this shit now, aren't they?
Yeah, I heard Halo's in the works as well, and obviously Witcher 2, so... Weird.
Next, we've got, if you want to play Nintendo Switch Online, I don't really know why, but from the 18th of September, you'll have to pay for that shit. So that's confirmed that it's the 18th of
it's
September.
Next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
This week, rather. If you...
Yeah,
depends when you're listening.
I mean, this could be a year ago.
Years in the past.
Yeah, many moons ago.
Yeah.
Many moons ago. I miss that section, not really. It was a good one. We did it for like a year, and then we were like, well,
next week.
Can't really do it anymore.
It's coming.
Yeah. Blizzard has an unannounced project, and it's going to be branded a new action-packed first-person game.
Yeah, loot boxes.
Loot boxes with Blizzard. To finish with, I've got two really stupid stories here. One, a divorce site in the UK claims that 5% of divorces are due to Fortnite. Which is quite funny. And the last one for this week is in the Spider-Man game, old Phil Spider-Man, there was an Easter egg of on a cinema billboard saying, "Maddie, will you marry me?" So this came about with some guy tweeting the developers saying like, "Oh, can you put this in your game because I want to marry this bird called Maddie." Yeah, they broke up before the game came out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So he did a big old thing on YouTube how he's all like really sad about it coming out in the game. And like the developers actually came back and said, we can patch this out of the game if you want. Which is quite nice.
That's kind of, that's very cool of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was quite funny. I think he replied with something about his nan. And I was like, I've lost interest in this story now, so I stopped reading. I didn't care.
Too deep.
Yeah, so whatever. Cunt. You're a dickhead. And you're alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So there you go, buddy. There's some news favourite things of this week's news favourite things.
Well, thank you very much, buddy. That was your news. Of course, before that was my news. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the news. And now it's time for Out This Week.
Let's take a look at some games coming out this week. Probably filled with microtransactions, loot crates, pay to win mechanics. Because fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Buy our shit.
That's Out This Week. Yeah, I changed it up
we got some games, buddy, this week that are out this week.
They're out this week.
The games. So
let me know what we got.
We got Insurgency Sandstorm, not to be confused with Darude Sandstorm. It will arrive on PC this week, buddy, and that is a tactical first-person shooter. I was watching a little bit of it earlier. It looks a lot like... Yeah, it's got a sort of rainbow kind of look about it in the desert. It's kind of, Counter-Strike-esque kind of thing.
Okay.
Proper sort of tactical first-person shooter. If I was doing a podcast and didn't know very much about this game but liked jumping to conclusions, aka what's happening literally right now.
Right now, yeah.
I would say that perhaps this is the first wave of people trying to cash in on the bewildering, gradual success of Rainbow Six Siege.
Ooh.
which looked like it was going to be a complete flop, and then was kind of rescued by
they rectified that. I don't know how.
A game as a service.
I don't like it still.
No. So yeah, that's that. We've also got Transference coming to Xbox, PS4 and PC this week. It's a psychological first-person thriller. It's that Elijah Wood vehicle that you saw in the Ubisoft conference at E3. This supports VR on PS4 and PC as well. Looks kind of scary. It's got something to do with body swapping and jump scares and Elijah Wood. So that's out this week.
That's out this week. The Bard's Tale 4 Barrows Deep arrives on PC. Barrows Deep, funny, like it. This is a medieval RPG with turn-based combat. It's the Bard's Tale 4, buddy, so it's the fourth in the series. It's the fourth Bard's Tale.
Yep, we got Fishing Sim World coming to PC, PS4 and Xbox.
What?
It's fishing. It's a fishing game.
Sign me up.
It's a very nice looking fishing game. It doesn't support VR though. So
fuck that game.
Yeah. 60 Parsecs exclamation mark arrives on PC this week. It's a funny looking isometric RPG set in space. And kind of 16-bit-esque. Looks quite a funny script. That could be worth a look.
Nice.
Star Control Origins arrives on PC this week. That is a sort of an Asteroids kind of homage, but with kind of RPG elements in that there's sort of exploration involved and so on. But it is essentially that sort of Asteroids vibe of floating and thrusting back and forth, so to speak, buddy.
Okay, I've just had an idea, right?
Go on.
Right, Asteroids Battle Royale.
That would work
right.
fine.
No, I haven't finished, yeah? Mm-hmm. You are the asteroids.
You're the asteroids?
You're the asteroids and you have to dodge all the bullets. Last one alive wins.
I like it. They can crowbar that in there. All of these games, of course, are Battle Royale games. Fishing Sim World, The Bard's Tale 4.
100 fish in a lake, yeah?
Battle Royale Elijah Wood edition. It's all Battle Royale. We've also got these two very interesting. Firstly, 8-bit armies. We were just talking about how there aren't enough RTSs on consoles. This is a real-time strategy game. It basically looks like a sort of 8-bit version of Command and Conquer Red Alert. And by that I mean it literally looks like an 8-bit version of Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Okay.
But it's coming to PS4 and Xbox specifically.
Does it have online?
I believe it does. It's got all of the different like troop settings. You've got like combine harvesters. The way that Red Alert kind of had you harvesting planets and stuff.
Yeah, gotta get that corn.
So yeah, it's probably worth a look. I think there'll be some videos on this just because it's just there's nothing in that genre on that console.
Yeah, totally.
So could be worth a look. And the other one that obviously I find quite interesting, Blind, is out this week on PlayStation VR and PC, and this is a first-person adventure kind of VR game, but you play a blind protagonist, so you're operating via sonar in the sort of Daredevil sense of that whole.
I get that. Sorry, I'm not laughing at blind people. But
no, it's fine. It's.
I mean, a blind VR game. It just sounds.
It does. Yeah, a bit of an
I feel like I could make that game.
It's it's kind of interesting. Like it's got that Daredevil thing where
the senses, kind of the outline or whatever. If
there's a noise, then it kind of almost like a stone in a pool, kind of pushes out, showing the outlines of the room around
sonar,
you.
Like you said,
like a sonar. Yeah. Might be really annoying.
Yeah,
I don't know,
but it's something different.
It's something different, and that is important in these times.
Givens.
So yeah, that is out this week. No gigantic fucking AAA towns.
Fucking golden release time, my ass.
We're kind of in there, yeah. But yeah, nice. By the way, just because I can fucking have a dig here. Nice to see that all the reviews have come out for Tomb Raider. The new one, and all of them, literally everyone I've read so far, absolutely fucking destroys the script and the voice acting.
Get in,
and I'm very
Nothing's
pleased
changed.
about that. because that wasn't really mentioned for Rise of the Tomb Raider in the original reboot. Yeah. But yeah, people saying it's a fucking miserable experience playing like the cliches and the terrible acting. There's a really funny clip I've seen where Lara is telling someone about a loved one who's died, and their reaction apparently is a laugh, but it sounds like a cry. She just turns to them, there's like a 3-second pause, and they just go, it's brilliant. The script has reached its own personal nadir here. It's reached meme status at this point. Yeah, so I'm not saying Rhianna Pratchett was entirely responsible for the misery that is the rebooted Tomb Raider buddy, but yeah,
that happened.
I'm not saying that.
Saying
so that's out this week, buddy.
That's out this week.
And now it's time for Fuckwit Corner.
Fuckwit Corner with Funk. Fuckwit Corner with Funk. He's got some questions. Funk.
Has he got any questions, buddy?
His first one is this, buddy. He says, yeah, how good was that cod beater?
Yeah, so I don't know.
Ash doesn't know.
I've heard good things.
We've talked about it rather a lot. So we'll just sweep over that. We're going to go and play it with Funk in about, 15 minutes time. So, yeah, fucking good. Weirdly so. Almost kind of, I don't know. Don't really understand what to make of it all. But it made me question my whole kind of belief system. But there we are.
What belief system?
No, you're right. I don't have one of those. Funk also says this. Funk picks up Divinity 2. Is it called Original Sin?
Originity of Sin.
Is it called that? Divinity Original Sin 2. Yeah. Sorry, I got there. He says this. Divinity 2 is a great game. I'm not normally one for stories, and I usually play games with the music off, but it's just got the lot. XCOM-style combat, sneaking, Skyrim-style exploring. Everyone you talk to gives you info, and you can do it any way you want. I'm weirdly already thinking about a second playthrough, and I haven't even finished the first act.
This guy's crazy.
The classes are all really different, and how you build your character really changes all the abilities as you go along. Books to read to gain skills, crafting to learn, and you need to build your party of 4 people to complement each other. Just fucking outstanding game making.
Nice. Well, that sounds fucking on this thing, yeah, man. We need to get it. If you can get back to us on how it controls on the PS4. Well, I guess because it's like XCOM style combat, then I guess probably just like XCOM. But because obviously this was built for PC in the first place, and yeah, I'd like to know about the control system and how that works. To be honest,
yeah, that would be cool.
I mean, obviously, he's given us a rage review there, so it's obviously a good game. But yeah, I'd like to know.
I like the idea that you can kind of got free movement, but also kind of snaps into a sort of grid-based XCOM system. I was always a fan of that, and the idea that you're building a character with its own sort of set of skills and so on, like that really works when it comes to XCOM style sort of turn-based combat because of the sort of strategy that goes into it. And it has to be a well-made game to accommodate all those different fucking skills and playing styles, I'd imagine. So yeah.
I just realised that I said a rage review, not a rave review, but I like it.
I like rage review.
Yeah, it's giving us a rage review.
He likes it so much, he's fucking livid. He's popping like an angry boner in just absolute joy.
Givens.
Yeah. So yeah, we will be picking that up. It's going to happen. We will have sex in your car again. But yeah, and we'll come and play the COD beta with you shortly, Funk.
Givens, buddy. Let's do it.
Thanks very much for that, Funk. Every week we end the show with questions and comments sent in by you. If you've got anything for us, just pop an email to the jfgpodcast@gmail.com or contact us on Facebook, Twitter, or at justforgamers.co.uk. Now it's time for JfG Street Beat.
You got a question we wanna know. Street Beat. Facebook, Twitter, we're on them all. So hit us up and be on the show. Beat. The JfG Street Beat.
Street Beat.
We wanna know.
Get on the show.
Get on the show, and we got our friendly neighbourhood Octopizzle on the show this week. The old PJ's involved,
PJ.
buddy.
P-Dizzle. Yeah.
First one, quick one from him. He says, predictions on when F1 will drop to £30. It was stupidly quick last time, wasn't it? 3 to 4 weeks or something silly.
Yeah. But it kind of did really well with the sales.
Well, yeah,
year.
Funk did mention that earlier when I was talking to him about it, and he was sort of saying, it's sold really well this time. It stayed at the top of the charts for a couple of weeks, but that's got a lot to do with how poorly Pez performed.
That is true. Yeah.
Brought it out in a little sort of lull.
I don't think it's probably top this week. I feel like Spider-Man might be.
Yeah, Spider-Man's very much top this week.
So, yeah, it might be a massive, drastic decline. So, I don't know, month or so? I don't know. Over a month.
Destiny's Forsaken was 7th this week.
Oh, was it?
Seems pretty impressive for a DLC
Just
pack.
a DLC, that's crazy.
Not even a video game.
Yeah.
It's still like snuck into the top 10.
There you go. Why? Surely it can't be in the top 10 if it's not a video game, though. The video game sales.
It doesn't seem right to me, buddy.
Who would do such a thing?
I wouldn't like to speculate, buddy, but all I can say is I didn't make the chart, and it wouldn't be in there if I had. So there we are. Finally, a couple of more things from PJ. Firstly, he says, on the next console matter, I think I'd be disappointed if they brought out a more powerful PS4 Pro and claimed next gen. To me, there needs to be a certain amount of innovation to make that claim, and bringing out an amped version doesn't cut it. If it ran solid 60 frames, then that would be great, but still not sure they could claim it as next gen, and could they justify splitting the user base in that way? I think that the next one will be a proper break-off, even if the power isn't necessarily what we would like. I think the bottom line with the new PlayStation is it's going to have to be more powerful than the Xbox One X, isn't it?
Yeah, Gibbons. And that thing can run stuff at 4K.
Yeah, 4K 30.
30. Some things at 4K 60, not a lot.
Yeah, and PJ sort of belittles the 60 frames thing there a little bit, but I get what he's saying, and also it just doesn't seem to be a priority anyway. The best thing that can happen with a more powerful PlayStation is that they give me the option to choose the fucking resolution. So that
that'd be nice.
If I want to run everything 1080 60, I should be able to.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about the 4K-ness if it sacrifices the frame rate, and that's always been our party line here, hasn't it, buddy?
Gibbons. Frame rate over something else.
Yeah, frame rate over fidelity.
Yeah, there we go. I like
Beautiful.
it. Slogan.
I'm with him, though. Like, you remember when... Look at the PS2 versus the PS1. Look at the PS3 versus the PS2. Look at the 360 versus the Xbox. Like, these are giant leaps. They look completely different. They're not just a slightly more powerful box that looks very similar kind of thing. And the Pro was supposed to be a half step, so I can kind of understand that. But I think that will detract somewhat from the next PlayStation, the fact that they had that little cheeky one in the middle. It's only going to make it slightly less exciting because the innovation's probably not going to be quite as much as obviously it would have been otherwise.
I mean, I think you just need to look at like the new NVIDIA graphics cards, the 2080s and stuff like that. The main thing that they keep hammering home is the ray tracing abilities. So like better shadows, better lighting and stuff like that.
Did you see that Battlefield 5 demo with the ray tracing, the Digital Foundry thing they did on Eurogamer?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. Amazing.
Kind of good. But I mean, that's the thing.
None of that's going to be in the new consoles.
Oh god, no. None of that's going to be anywhere near the consoles.
It's a grand card, isn't it?
Yeah. But a lot of people are saying it's even for a graphics card upgrade, that's not enough to spunk out $1,000. And this is from people that love PC gaming and stuff like that. A lot of people are saying, I'm just going to stick with my 1080 Ti until the next one because you know it's like we're saying, it's not as much of a step up to justify. Obviously, that fucking kind of stupid money. Obviously, there, like that is just insane amounts of money. But yeah, I don't know. I feel that progression is kind of slowing down. Like we're never really going to see these huge jumps that we did in the past, and I don't know why that is, because I don't understand, or I don't work in that kind of thing.
I think that it's the fact that the consoles as a whole, they're just PCs now. They're less quirky than they used to be. You know,
there is that, yeah.
And the way that hardware was kind of quirky and weird, it was very bespoke before. Whereas now, you know, if you open up your PlayStation, you can if you've ever had any experience looking at PCs and being able to identify components, like that's all you got in there. You know, it's just.
I think a lot of the groundbreaking stuff, like when you compare, like, you know, the PS3 and the 360 to the Xbox One and the PS4, is like in-game. No, I mean, obviously visually it's fantastic. Like it's a hell of a lot better. I mean, you look at 360 games now, you're like, fucking, that looks dog shit. But at the time, it was like, it wasn't like jaw-dropping. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, wow, this is like a massive step up from, you know, where the first time you see like 1080p compared to back in the day. But then you need to kind of realize that some of the game environments and the game worlds and things like that are being made on these consoles.
Stuff like Horizon and God of War,
exactly,
incredible.
Like the sheer size of these games, and you know, the finer details in these games. That is
stuff
where,
like Hitman, like the level of stuff that's going on in one.
Yeah,
of those
exactly.
maps,
the amount of AI characters that are there, the amount of just shit that's about, you know, like these worlds feel more immersive now than before. Like, whereas you'd see like the same tree like 20 times but different heights or something like that kind of thing in the past, where now we've got like full on jungles that are completely different and things like that. So it's not a case of like, you know, making your eyes like glaze over with the gloriness of how it looks. It's like the density of it and things like that, I think, is where it's going now. And I've said it a million times in the past, is the lighting and the water effects and things like that compared to previous gens. That's where you can really see the big difference, and I think that's going to be the same, like kind of like with like the ray tracing, like that's obviously a big step forward, but you know, for a lot of people it's like that's not enough in a way, which is I think that's where we're gonna end up with like our next PS5 or the PS5 whenever it comes out.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. You're right. It's you know, and the thing with immersive worlds is, I think because we live in a real world, you don't tend to notice those changes quite so quickly as like an insane shift in graphical fidelity or like mega resolutions.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly, because they're the easiest things to see.
Immediately noticeable.
Yeah,
as I totally agree. Totally agree. Well, anyway, thanks very much, PJ, and to Funk. Thanks to everyone who contributed this week. So I think that'll about do us, buddy. And bafflingly, for the first time possibly ever on the JfG podcast, I'm about to say the sentence, I think we're off to play COD now.
Let's go play some Call of Duty, buddy.
What's that all about?
I don't know. I'm not happy about it, to be honest. You know, especially after, you know, last week we were like, yeah, we'll go play Destiny, and it's like, oh no, we can't do that.
I don't know what happened there.
Had a big update. I think you planned it. You're like, yeah, fuck
I downloaded.
Nah,
you download the latest version of the video game.
Blah blah blah.
Should it not have the patch included?
Yeah, you would have thought so, wouldn't it?
What the fuck am I downloading the whole 65 gigs of Destiny for to then have to download a 20 gig patch? Why is that not bundled in?
There, mate. Yeah, it is what it is.
Bullshit.
Anyway.
It's not like the patch was recent. It came out like ages before I downloaded the game. And also, what's with the PlayStation having 100 gigs of space left and being no, you're full.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a big fucking annoyance. But then the fact of you download the content and then it says copying for like 45 minutes. And you're like, what are you fucking copying? Just instead of copying it, just bang it in there. Just fucking put the bread in the oven, buddy.
Just put the bread in the oven. Why not copy it into the folder it's going in the first
Exactly.
place?
It's fucking retarded.
It's like you've got a little dude in there being like, right, it's in the downloads folder now, right, open up C drive program files, Destiny 2. There we go. Copy
Control
paste.
C, Control V.
Yeah, it's only a SATA drive, so it's going to take 4 hours to copy that across.
It's fine.
So
Don't worry about that.
Be patient. Don't use it during the time either.
Twats.
Wankers. Yeah, fuck that. Anyway. Right, let's go. I really need a wee. So
me too. I need more beer as well.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed the proceedings this week. We'll, of course, be back again next time. Next week, in fact. But until then, I have been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell. You've been listening to the JfG podcast with Ash and me, Alex. You can find us at www.thejfgpodcast.co.uk, where you'll also find our Discord and Street Beat if you want to get involved with the show. Our Facebook is /the JfG podcast, and our Twitter handle is @the JfG podcast. We're on all those video streaming sites too, buddies, from TubeTube to twitch.tv /the JfG podcast to mixer.com, aka beam.fucking-pro. We've got a PS4 community you can join, just search the JfG podcast on there, and we're also on Google Plus if that is how you choose to live your life. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time.